What is up? Man, we are back, black in the building, man. Shout out to everybody out there that's handling business, knowing what they need to do, and doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody out there. Man, shout out to No Compromise. Shout out to Erica. Erica, man, you did not have to do that. I hope you got the email. Erica won't get the CMOS, but Erica donate to the foundation, but not take the CMOS. Shout out to Erica, man. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Tommy. Shawnee, you already know. Philly in the building. Stand up. Oh, man. blackandnoble.com. Shout out to them. Freedom Paper Company. All the black entrepreneurs out there. Shout out to No Compromise. Tasha, you already know what the fuck it is. If you're at work, I fuck with you, man. I already know what it is. Because nigga, I gotta go to the court plantation just like y'all niggas do. So shout out to all y'all niggas, man. Man, we about to get into it, man. Like I said, this shit about to go real quick. Shout out to Nuke, too, and my nigga Dom. Shout out to Dom, man. Dom, that's my nigga right there. That nigga Dom texted me when I was talking about how my auntie be talking about don't come as Freddy Krueger. That nigga text me, nigga, I'm rolling right now. Hey, I just say, like, what's that man that be cussing and carrying on? Freddy Krueger. Don't come as him. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody out there that's handling business. Shout out to everybody that is trying to replace the system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice. You don't have to be black to establish a system of justice. Establishing the system of justice means the person that gets the most, the person that needs the most help gets the most constructive help. Billy Fuller Jr., the compensatory counter-racist code of ethics. Go check that shit out, man. And shout out to everybody out there that's moving in such a way where they know what they have to do to survive. Shout out to everybody that is on that CMOS. I don't even claim to eat healthy all the time. Not like I should be, but I do have that CMOS, and I do have the teas and elixirs and proper herbs from Tahuti Ma'ara from myatраherbs.com, to kind of keep my body going, because I don't know what the fuck they put in this air and what they doing. So shout out to everybody out here. Shout out to everybody. You want to go get the jabby jab? Go get it. Stop shaming the motherfuckers that don't want to go get it. Shout out to everybody out there that's putting out misinformation. God damn, there's so many motherfuckers that can't wait to put out misinformation. It's sick. But we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, the violent person. We definitely going to talk about that. All right. And the violent people. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why we saying violent people, because we're going to get into it, man. So shout out to everybody out there. If you at the court plantation, you're not telling on the nigga, I fuck with you. But if you're out there acting like a Sambo, Shawnee, you already know I'm going to get the music for their asses. This a nigga, this motherfucker I work with, and every time I hear him talk, I'll be like, man, oh my little mammy. But anyway, let me cut this clown ass music down. Let's get into it. Hey. But anyway, man, I was kind of, I always want to know what they was gonna do with Kyle Rittenhouse, even though they got him some expert attorneys. Boy, white folk, they know how to give up their bread to make sure they defend their own. But R. Kelly's sitting around. I'm not saying that what R. Kelly did was correct, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is niggas sing your music and get you in the studio so they can get a hit and siphon anything they can out of you. And then once the negative light shine on you, everybody act like they don't even know who the fuck you are. That shit is crazy. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when I watch that, it's just something that, fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? Because this brother is getting, that white boy Kyle Rittenhouse, that nigga's getting grade A attorneys. This nigga ain't getting no fucking public defender talking about, let's just settle. Take the plea deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you see that type of shit, you be like, damn, hey, Erica, man, what's going on? I got that shit. I won't give up. Look, Erica like, okay, nigga, so since you won't give up your Cash App, man, I ain't on here for that shit, man. Like I said, man, I got a few people, like I said, I had to holler at some of my assemblies, my family members, man, because, hey, that's one thing we don't do in my family. I'm not getting off topic, but I had to say this. One thing we don't do in my family, don't be talking about you got the product and they give you some money, and they gonna be like, where the fuck is my shit at? We don't play that shit in our family. If somebody's making a product and I pay you some money, nigga, you better have my shit, or you better give my motherfucking money back. Nigga treat you like a nigga off the street in my family. Hey, man, where my shit at? You know what I'm saying? So Man, so I appreciate you, Erica, man. Real, for real, for real. And like I said, it's just so funny. Even watching the trial, and it's laughable. You were a vigilante out there, Mr. Rittenhouse. You were a vigilante out there acting on your behalf. And you didn't give a fuck who you was shooting and killing. You just happened to be shooting and killing white folk too. So that's probably why his plight has been changed and turned because of that. They like, all right, now you can't be out there you're killing our own, man. You go kill some niggas. Then we can talk about some motherfucking type of plea deal. We give you a year in prison or a year community service or some bullshit. And they like, hey, you didn't kill no niggas. You up here killing white people, man. You know that's off cold. So he has got a barrage of attorneys. Like, this nigga got a plethora. I'm like, God damn. How many attorneys the nigga got? Damn, that nigga must got OJ money. But anyway, man, I just thought it was interesting because that's why I named it Violent People. Because as I'm reading this book, and Erica, don't think I forgot about Grandmother's Hands, but I have to get through this book. And it's called Sweet Taste of Liberty, and it's about, basically Henrietta Woods. And Henrietta Woods, for most people that don't know, Henrietta Woods is a person. She was a laundress or a bondwoman, a slave, and she was, kidnapped and put into slavery, sold into slavery, and then she escaped. And when she got her freedom, she sued the motherfuckers that kidnapped her and put her into slavery illegally, and she got restitution. She got like $2,500. She sued for $20,000 in the 1800s. So that's like you suing a nigga for $300,000 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But she only got $2,500, so she got like what? She sued for $20,000. She got so what is that? 5%, 2%? I don't know the math on that shit. She got as much as a nigga would get for that time, but it was more surprising that motherfuckers thought she was bold enough to do it. And her son, she put her son through law school with that money. He ended up becoming an attorney. It's like pictures in the book. And what I've been reading about, it's a white person that wrote this book. And what I've been reading about in these chapters is all the violent shit that was going on. Because this is around the time where they was trying to unionize everything. And then, the Emancipation Proclamation, and basically they was going around like, look, with the troops, like, look, we ain't with that shit now right now because we trying to save the Union. Because Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer too, and Abraham Lincoln's roommate and friend was Henrietta Woods' attorney, and they were more unionists. They weren't abolitionists. They're just framed as abolitionists. That's why Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. No, nigga, he didn't free the motherfucking slaves. They didn't even really give a fuck about the slaves. They were more trying to protect the Union. That's what they were trying to do. And they really wanted black people to go back to Africa because they felt like black people had already built the country and there was really no need for us. That's how they really feel, because that's how, I forgot the brother's name. It was a white dude, and he was good friends with Abraham Lincoln. I think they went to law school together. He was representing Henrietta Woods. You can look this up. It's in the book. And he was a sectionist and a unionist, he was a sectionist or sectionist or some shit like that. What they call in the book. My mind is blanking. So basically, he just wanted niggas to go back to Africa, as if we was never here. And the reason why he probably was like that, because he was like, okay, well, they built everything for us. We don't have no use for them. But I think, this is just my personal opinion, according to some of the things in the book, a lot of white people started to become violent because they didn't want slavery to end. And a lot of those white people were lazy. Remember in Never Caught, the untold story of Una Judge, George Washington put it out there. I don't like white slaves because they fucking lazy and they be running away all the time. They can't ever get the shit done. And they lazy. And they always hurt and always got bullshit going on. This is what George Washington wrote. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those white people and a lot of those slave owners, they didn't want to be bothered with that fucking manual labor. So they like, man, fuck this. So if we gotta, by any means necessary, we finna keep that. And they were very violent. And I don't understand why people in this day and time act like the dominant society was not as violent as they were. And why does everybody, because you know what keeps ringing up in my head? This what keeps ringing up in my head. Why is everybody acting like slavery was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years ago? That shit went on well into the 1920s and 30s. What the fuck are y'all talking about? And they were very violent. And it talks about how the Ku Klux Klan got started in like 1866 or some shit like that. And I forgot the brother's name. He was like the Grand Wizard. But he, you know, he had a little bit, not political power, but he had a little bit of pull. And how they was going around. It talks a lot about how they was going around and basically trying to scare black people into submission and being very violent, taking black people out of their homes and fucking killing them in front of everybody, leaving their dead bodies in the street so other niggas could see what was going on. Very violent. So if that was going on in the late 1800s, nigga, you fast forward 70, 80 years, nigga, that don't mean that's what they doing now. And it's so funny. You look at this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, he trying to act so innocent. No, nigga, you are a killer and you're very violent because you didn't have no problem walking around there shooting motherfuckers. Talking about if you was in fear for your life, you telling motherfuckers you better back before you get shot. But no, you couldn't wait to go around and do that because I feel like a lot of people are raised and socialized that way. Just like out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's an Asian motherfucker that's on the run that went up in a liquor store, not a liquor store, but a gas station, I think a Chevron. Yeah, that Chevron on Robindale and Jones. And ran up there and started dumping and killed somebody at the gas station. That's why, man, and that alerted me. From now on, get your gas, look everywhere. Don't have your earphones on, don't get comfortable, because you don't know who the fuck gonna run up on you and act a goddamn fool. You know, we gotta be on top of it because what has happened is they have sensationalized our black folk getting shot and killed on video. And when I mean sensationalized, it's like, oh, look at this person. But it doesn't hit home to the average white person, the average dominant society person, because they don't go through what we go through. So we got to stop allowing them to do that and start looking at these fucking violent motherfuckers for who the fuck they are and knowing that shit. Look, life imitates art imitates life. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all need to stop seeing these violent criminals as just black ghetto people. Y'all need to start looking at these criminals in other racial groups, because the man that went in there and shot at the gas station in Las Vegas, Nevada, he was Asian. So motherfuckers need to understand that. You know, I was having a conversation with this it was a Filipino sister, and I was having a conversation with her, and she was telling me some stuff, and one of the main things she said that made me laugh, because I already knew that, she was like, look, and I need to tell you, because you know, I'm from Hawaii, woo woo, but she basically broke it down. She was like, and black people can't be racist. And she was like, and I'm Filipino and I've experienced a lot of racism, but not nearly as much racism as black people has experienced in this country. And when a person tells you that a black person is racist, you tell them, how could a black person be racist when they don't own or control the political landscape or the resources that are in this country? This is what a Filipino lady told me. So when this Filipino lady told me that shit, I was like, so motherfuckers do know. Oh, I get it. Motherfuckers do know. Hey, but Erica though, you see, hey, Erica, you see that motherfucker on TV? Go look at him on TV. That motherfucker look, he look innocent as fuck, huh? But when you look at the video footage of Mr. Rittenhouse, I know you saw it, Erica. That motherfucker was walking around dumping on niggas too. That nigga had an AR too. It ain't like this nigga had a motherfucking, he wasn't robbing stagecoaches. That nigga had an AR. That nigga was out there putting in that work. And I think that's what's very, very, very prevalent, that we need to understand that, hey man, these people are violent. I don't care if they are kids. They violent. You need to understand that when you're dealing with violent people who are part of the dominant society, to me, it's a badge of honor for them to go out there and kill some niggas. If you don't think that way, then I don't understand where you're coming from, and I can't make you see it any other way, but it's a badge of honor. That's why they don't give a fuck right now, because of the jabby jab and the cracks in nation and all other shit, you have a lot of dominant society people that's like, well, I'm gonna fuck with niggas right here because, you know, we have a common enemy. But don't put your head down and be like, all right, cool, kumbaya. No, you need to understand. They finna hit you with the woo-wah with this Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, he get 5 years, a year, and then we're probation and everything. They gonna keep throwing money at the courts. Then you gonna look up and this nigga gonna be out and he gonna be killing motherfuckers again. Just like that Asian motherfucker. They ain't never said nothing about the Asian motherfucker that shot that little kid in the arm because the kid was riding a bike on his yard, so he shot him. Nobody never did nothing. Now that brother that went on the news and was complaining about it, that was one thing, but them, a group of motherfuckers should have got together and showed up at his house and been like, hey, my nigga, what the fuck is, you gotta pull up. Like, what the fuck was that about? What you doing shooting a kid, man? He should have went to jail. They let him out on bail. And that was a kid he shot because it was a black kid. See, when motherfuckers be like, I know my rights. Okay, nigga. Just like I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. You gonna see that I'm not black, I'm OJ shit don't work. I think it's very, very, very important that you know the law and you understand how it works and what to say and what not to say. And I understand that shit, but there's a lot of things that you understand that they'll change the game, the goalpost. You a nigga, and the same rules that apply to them don't apply to you. And that's why, just like they about to fix that trial, just like they let Muhammad Noor off. I did a podcast about that. They let Muhammad Noor off because they want to let off Derek Chauvin. Because they don't want to crucify Derek Chauvin because in their mind, they feel like, well, that's what George Floyd get. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So here, I'm going to play a little bit of the audio, and then after that, we gonna wrap it on up. So let's see.
Graphic videos played for the jury today in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He faces 7 charges, including intentional homicide in the shooting deaths of 2 men and the wounding of another during civil unrest in the city in August of 2020 after a Kenosha police officer shot a black man in the back. Now, defense attorneys don't dispute that Rittenhouse fired fatal shots, arguing instead that he acted in self-defense. We have more tonight from CNN's Adrian Broadus. And again, a warning, some of the video you're about to see is graphic.
Self-defense, huh? That would have been a nigga walking around there killing
people. As Kyle Rittenhouse looked on, prosecutors played video after video of the gunshots that started a night of horror. First, a single shot. Then 7 more. The shooting and...
But you acting in self-defense.
What happens next? Have Rittenhouse facing life in prison for the worst of 5 felonies. First-degree intentional homicide. Both sides agree Joseph Rosenbaum was the first Rittenhouse killed, but the defense jumping in to make clear their client didn't fire the first shot heard on the video.
But Mr. Washington,
there was a first shot.
That nigga got like 2-3 lawyers.
Instead, all sides agree a third person fired that first shot. The defense questioning an eyewitness who live streamed the incident to make its point that Rittenhouse was not an aggressor.
You described Rosenbaum.
Oh my God, so he taking up for the white boy. Well, he wasn't an aggressor. Nigga, he was out there running up on people and shooting people too. If you scared for your life, you dumping and backing up. And you dumping and backing up. You're not dumping and running towards the motherfucker. Man, come on, man. Let a nigga be out there doing that shit. A guilty nigga. Hey, man. But it was 1,000 people out there shooting at me. You're a nigga. They're scared of you. Guilty nigga. That's what they'll do.
Is acting erratic, right?
From all of the moments that I was around that you can notice, yes.
You described...
He sound like a Sambo a little bit.
Rosenbaum is erratic, and if this is fair, and Rittenhouse as chain smoking. Yes?
I suppose you could say nervous, I guess, would be a fair...
That's why niggas gotta stop. Jim live streaming. It doesn't look like he's bad. Man, you a fucking Sambo. I'd have been like, no, he was out there acting a fool too. Fuck all that.
Way to say it.
But prosecutors say this grainy FBI aerial surveillance video will show Rittenhouse did move toward Rosenbaum, while the defense says it shows Rosenbaum.
Nigga trying to lie. Look, they done brung out the FBI surveillance, not the regular dumb cop surveillance. They got it a heat signature camera at the whole fucking thing watching this shit. The whole fucking time talking about we brung out the FBI. Yeah, because he killed white people. If he had killed a bunch of niggas, they'd have been like, oh, we don't have footage. But what about the satellite footage? Oh, we ain't got no satellite. Satellite, what y'all mean? We lost it when we went to the moon. Get the fuck out of here.
Hid behind cars before chasing Rittenhouse, who opened fire. The most graphic of the videos showing the moment Rosenbaum was shot 4 times. and shortly after when he was carried by bystanders and driven away. A detective confirming Rosenbaum was unarmed.
So no gun,
No.
no knife,
No.
no bat,
No.
no club.
No.
Rittenhouse, who has pleaded not guilty, appeared
That nigga pleaded not guilty.
to look down during some of the most dramatic video, which included the moment he shot 2 more people, killing 26-year-old Anthony Huber and injuring Gage Grosskreutz.
Killing. He shot and killed a whole bunch of white people. That's what I'm talking about this shit today. This is only going on because he killed a whole bunch of white people. If he'd have killed a whole bunch of niggas, oh, they niggas. They out there, they're fucking niggas. They should have been at home instead of protesting.
The case appears to rest on each side's portrayal of Rittenhouse's intent, the prosecution saying in opening statements that Rittenhouse acted as a vigilante.
He was a vigilante. You can't not go into a crowd with protesters with a fucking AR, and if somebody want to jump on you, I can see you defending yourself. You could have hit him with the gun, or you could have shot him one time, that's it. No, you just dumping on people. Nigga, guilty.
Igniting fear in a crowd after shooting an unarmed man.
And as he's running, word spreads from the crowd on the street
Exactly.
that there is an active shooter running through the area. And the citizens there attempt to stop him.
Rittenhouse's attorneys argue self-defense and that he only fired his rifle after he was attacked.
The other individuals who didn't see that shooting attacked him in the street like an animal.
They said attacked him in the street like an animal. But this is the white boy with the AR-15 type shit. Let me tell you what they do in court. It ain't what's true and what's false. It's what they can prove. It's the picture that they can paint. It's how they frame the picture. That's what they do. That's why it's a blank canvas and they just paint whatever the fuck they want to paint. And they be like, oh, you want to see blue? Well, here. But you only gave me red and you only gave me brown. Well, I'm going to mix these together and fashion it into something kind of blue because it's whatever you can prove. So you got to prove the burn. That motherfucker, they attacked him like vigilantes. Nigga, this is the nigga with the gun. They trying to stop him so he won't kill no more people. Let that have been a nigga. Oh, my God. That have been a nigga. Guilty nigga. It ain't even a trial. Hey, man, I'm supposed to go to trial. You're a nigga. Niggas don't get trials. Stop. That's what they'll do.
Outside of testimony, Judge Bruce Schrader is in the spotlight for his unusual style.
Good thing we have the Jeopardy game for us to practice.
This nigga talking about Jeopardy and shit. I wish they'd joke like that when niggas is on trial. Man.
Playing Jeopardy with jurors during courtroom downtime and referencing the Bible during a hearsay objection in court.
And this is actually referred to in the Bible.
An old white racist man. But you want to tell me that we done changed in the United States of America Incorporated that was built by foundational black people, blood, sweat, and tears, and you going to tell me that it has changed? Find me a black judge that is dealing with a major trial like this, a murder trial, and he up there fucking joking, let's talk about Jeopardy. They'd be like, recuse this judge and get another motherfucker in here. This nigga done lost his fucking mind. But this is what happens when you're dealing with violent people that are part of the dominant society. That kid is violent. He's just like the Columbine motherfuckers. He's just like that shooter that was in that movie theater in Denver who came in there doing the Batman shit. That's why when I go to the theater, nigga, I don't want to be by the motherfucking door, and I want to be able to fucking jump and do whatever the fuck I need to do. Because you can't get too close. You can't get too comfortable either. You don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers gonna do.
Paul, when he was put on trial.
Adrian Broadus, CNN, Kenosha.
This nigga talk about Paul from the Bible. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. This nigga done lost his fucking mind, man. But anyway, look, this is what I want to tell y'all. Wake up, man. Wake up, know what the fuck life is about. Read, study, understand that violent people are violent people. And guess what? If I'm violent, I'm going to socialize somebody to be violent. And in the dominant white society, they always want to play the fucking victim. They always want to play the victim. Always want to play the victim. You turn on TV, they play the victim on TV. Man, they could be the most evilest motherfucker and still play the victim. I mean, some John Wayne Gacy type shit. The Hillside Strangler. Just killing motherfuckers. And then you be like, all right, man, you caught. Oh, no. But I don't know why I did it. That bullshit. Look at the Menendez brothers. These motherfuckers claim that their parents was abusing them. So instead of them going to get help, like white people tell you, go get mental health, you got mental health. These motherfuckers kill their parents. Like, well, fuck these motherfuckers. We just kill them. Man, get the fuck out of here. But you motherfuckers want to look over here at black people like we the violent ones. The only people that's been the most violent people in the United States of America Incorporated the last 500 years is the dominant white society and all their white supremacist in training motherfuckers that they bring along for the ride. Like the Officer Yanez's of the world. You know what I'm saying? That'll shoot motherfucking Philando Castile, and this nigga just trying to show you his shit. He trying to show you his licenses and shit that he had. You shoot in the car and damn near kill his daughter. What the fuck, man? But hey, man, I'll tell you like I said before, it is up to us to understand what the fuck is going on. Know there's about to be a woo-wop going on. And hey, man, shout out to No Compromise, Erica, Shawnee, Tasha, Tamisha. Hey, y'all, 066, I'll fuck with you big time, man. Y'all niggas already know what it is, man. We gonna keep it live right here. We gonna keep it a buck. And hey, and Erica, good looking out. Mary Bethune, no, it was Mary McLeod Bethune. So I was right. And y'all need to go get this book, The Negro Project. Cause that's where cause I thought Bethune-Cookman, I never Googled it and looked it up. I never looked it up at all. Never. I remember the first time a person told me about that school was like in 2003. They was like, yeah, how many black colleges do you know? And I'm like, no. And I even told the girl, I was like, I heard a lot of those black colleges are named after white people. And she got all mad because she was all student black colleges, and that was all good. And I remember she was just like, no, not Bethune-Cookman. And I was like, what's Bethune-Cookman? She was like, it's named by black people. But the bitch never told me who the black people was named by. And then here it is 20-some years later, I got to figure it out because I never thought to Google Bethune-Cookman. And then I read this book, and they're like, Mary McLeod Bethune, as of, Bethune-Cookman. I'm like, okay, that's what that is. All right. So good looking out, Erica, man. Hey, Erica, I only talk about shit I read. If I ain't read the book, I ain't going to tell you about it. I might tell you to go get it, but I'm not going to talk on shit that I don't know about. I'm only going to talk about shit I know about. That's why I always show books like The Burglary. I'll give you my same books. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you here, The Price for a Pound of Flesh, Medical Apartheid. These are the books that, I suggest people go read. Motherfucking Before I Get Up Out of Here, here it go. Never Caught, very, very good book, written by a sister. Then, of course, you got, you know what I'm saying? You got the United Independent Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. I'll probably say it wrong every time, but it's by Neely Fuller Jr. This is the revised version. This shit is bomb. You know what I'm saying? So I would suggest you do it. That's where you get the racial showcase and confusion. That's where you get all the, you know what I'm saying? And if you see two white people arguing, that's just two slave masters arguing, who's the biggest slave master. Unless they're trying to eradicate and replace the system of racism and white supremacy and establish a system of justice, then they ain't doing a motherfucking thing. And don't take sides because, nigga, they don't give a fuck about you. You there for their entertainment. But anyway, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribe. You know what it is. I got love all y'all. I'm out. I'm already 5 minutes over, man. I'm trying to keep every podcast at 25. I'm out, man. And if you a Sambo, stay at Sambo. But don't come around me talking about, I ain't no Sambo, man. Sambo. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.